What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Clearly Crypto, the channel where I like to bring the news and knowledge, where we want to know more, grow more, and reap the benefits from it. If you haven't got subscribed here yet, make sure to get subscribed. I come out with content daily. I'm only going to get better at this, and the news is only going to get juicier from this channel, so make sure to get subscribed so you don't miss out in the future. For today's uh, for today's video, I have tons of information for you about Ethereum, about CryptoPunks, about Bitcoin getting hacked, Ripple, just a bunch of great info, as well as a great new cryptocurrency, a great new token, a great new project. That's what I'm trying to think of, and a great new amazing project that I found here at the end. It's something that I believe is going to be pretty big here in the future, especially with everything going on with bridging. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. Like I said, get subscribed if you're not already subscribed, and go ahead and give me a follow over on Twitter too. I drop details on what I'm learning all the time, whether it's about stock trading or if it's about the cryptoverse. I like to share it with you guys just so that you know exactly what I know. I've always wanted to teach people, so this is just my way of doing that. So the first news that I have for you guys today, largest Ethereum miner, Ethermine, stops processing sanctioned transactions. So what this article is talking about is it's going on with the Tornado Cash transactions. For those of you that don't know, there was a bunch of transactions that were pretty illicit in Tornado Cash. They were doing a bunch of wrong things in there. They got caught. So now the U.S. has just completely cut it off. You'll see down here that not only has this stopped transactions from them, but Circle has blacklisted USDC on Ethereum network so that any holder who had interacted with Tornado Cash would no longer be able to interact with the smart contract. So it's gotten pretty serious with this. Next, DeFi protocols such as Aave, Uniswap, Balancer, and others introduced an API from TRM Labs, which disabled the front end of their dApps, essentially banning addresses sanctioned by OFAC. So what that is talking about is how Aave basically they would go through and they were banning anybody that got hit by whenever the activists went through and just kind of threw out zero point 0.1 Ethereum to all the influential people in the crypto space, as it explains right here, actually. Um, it was just pretty crazy that that happened. They started just going through showing that how centralized these crypto exchanges can be, showing how even Ethermine can just stop producing blocks that include Tornado Cash transactions. This is just further showing how centralized the Ethereum blockchain is. Um, I mean, it's just pretty crazy to see these kinds of news. And over on Altcoin Daily, if you haven't seen that video yet, they actually have a great video where it shows the developers on a call, and they talk about whenever they roll out one of the next things that have to happen for the merge, it is going to be completely centralized, and they know that. They know that it's going to happen. So just make sure that you're definitely doing your research on what you're getting into. Know that Ethereum isn't all that it says it is, that it's not completely decentralized, that it's starting to become more and more centralized as time goes on, it seems. Moving on from that, this article talks about how Ethereum, despite the merge, is starting to fall flat on certain metrics. Down in here, it showcases how the exchange on outflow volume, the 7-day MA, it's finally gone down and reached down to there. It is starting to decrease in outflow volume in exchanges, and this is generally a bearish signal. So it's saying that Ethereum isn't flowing out from exchanges as much. People aren't moving their Ethereum as much. They're not buying and selling it as much. If you go over to etherscan.io, you can see that the transactions have actually dipped down. This is from day one of Ethereum, but you can actually click and hold and drag over and highlight a certain portion. And this is going all the way, move that. This is going all the way from May all the way to August. You'll see that it stayed pretty flat. We've had a little bit of a spike over here after, I believe that's after the Feds had had one of their calls, whenever they were doing one of their FOMC meetings. I believe that's whenever this was, whenever we had a big spike right there. The whole market basically rallied after that news. But you can see from the long term that we were on an uptrend here, and then it kind of, I wish I could draw lines right here, it's kind of been on a downtrend ever since about May 2000, about May 2021. May 9th, 2021, it has just been on a downtrend as far as transactions. We had a little bit of a rally right here. That's just showing from whenever we had the Fed meeting minutes, how everybody got kind of excited, as well as whenever they were just starting to get everybody excited about the merge again. We had these transactions going up quite a bit, but they are starting to go back down. So I fully expect Ethereum to go down quite a bit more. Even with the merge coming up, we might see, a little bit bounces here and there, but I myself expect Ethereum to keep going down. So moving on from that, don't want to keep you guys down about crypto. That's not what this channel is about. Moving on from that, though, we are seeing the NFT space starting to get a little bit more traction. There has been a little bit more news about some of the top NFTs out there. It's not necessarily the best news, but news irregardless, and news just gets more word of mouth out there. I mean, whether it's good or bad, that just means that people are talking about it. CryptoPunks, Ethereum, NFTs, floor price flips Bored Apes for the first time in 5 months. So this is pretty cool, and this goes along with what I talked about in my video yesterday. If you didn't watch that, definitely go back and take a look, because the Bored Apes are, in fact, in danger of being liquidated on one of the DAOs out there. There are, I believe it's about 3% of them. It might be 30%, but it is a portion of the apes are being used as being used as, oh man, what am I trying to used as collateral I always say collateral. Used as collateral to get loans, and since the floor price of the apes are going down so much, Ethereum is going down so much, those loans are in risk of being liquidated, and then the apes are then being able to be auctioned by that DAO by pretty low prices. I was seeing on there in my video that the auctions were showing even down at 11, 12 Ethereum for them. So that's pretty low for them. CryptoPunks, you can see here that it was showing a floor price at one point of 66.45 over the Bored Ape Yacht Club 65.99. So this is just a pretty cool article that I wanted to put out there, because the NFT space hasn't had quite too much buzz these days. And moving on from this, everybody, you guys got to make sure to be careful where you're buying your Bitcoin from. You definitely have to make sure to do your research on how to get it stored, whether you're wanting to use it on a hot wallet, cold wallet, whether you're wanting to put it on an exchange, you're wanting to put it on maybe a MetaMask, your MetaMask wallet up here. Maybe you want to put it on your Nano Ledger X. I know I'll be getting one of those soon, especially to hold like my Bitcoin, my HBAR, my XRP. Once I get some of that, I have been looking into ISO 20022, so I am starting to figure out which of those cryptocurrencies might be getting in with that, so that's pretty exciting. I'll be doing videos of that, so make sure to get subscribed to see that kind of content if you're interested in that. The world is changing, but with this is just showing that you just don't want to go out there and buy it from anywhere. I mean, even people going on to say Cash App, I believe Cash App is one of the places that you can now go on and buy Bitcoin. I personally, I would not do that. There's no way I would get onto Cash App and trust it to buy Bitcoin. I don't even believe with those exchanges you're actually buying Bitcoin. I believe you're basically buying the right to Bitcoin. So you're basically you buy it from them, and then if you were to transfer it, they would actually have to buy some Bitcoin and then transfer it to you. You transfer it out. So it's a pretty crazy process that you would have to go through with as far as that. I myself, I use crypto.com. I know there's other companies out there like Binance, KuCoin. Those are a couple other good ones that I've heard about. I would stay away from Coinbase with everything that they've done lately. I know that they're even starting to block the purchasing and withdrawals of Ethereum at a certain point as the merge gets closer, and then you won't even be able to withdraw your Ethereum until after the merge is completely finalized. It's not just going to be done a clean cut finish on September 15. It's actually going to take until the beginning of this next year to get that merge completed, and then you'll finally be able to get your Ethereum. At least I believe off of Coinbase, it's going to be like that. I'm not sure if it's going to be like that everywhere. So for this is showing that the hacker stole from clients making deposits on Bitcoin ATMs. Pretty crazy that people are depositing into Bitcoin ATMs rather than just doing it on like an exchange or through their ledger or something like that. I could see a lot of people buying Bitcoin from these ATMs. I know up at the Valero up the road from my house, they have a Bitcoin ATM that you can buy a Bitcoin, Litecoin, um, Ethereum. I'm not sure if there's any others. I know that I saw a picture of a Bitcoin ATM or a crypto ATM, I believe over in Florida, that also included XRP in there. So that was pretty cool that you could buy it from one of those ATMs. So I'm sure that those will start popping up a lot more. But this basically says that the hacker got in there, got registered as one of the first administrator users, and then they would just take the people's Bitcoin as they deposited it. That's basically what they did. It was pretty crazy that it happened the third day after the company publicly announced a Help Ukraine feature on its ATM. So maybe it was somebody that noticed that they were doing that, and that's the reason why they wanted to get in there and get into that. A little smart on their end, unfortunate for the people that happened to. So yeah, just make sure that you're being really careful on not only where you're buying your Bitcoin, but where you're storing your Bitcoin. Moving on from there, we have this article, the FDIC announcements and Fed pre-announcements, the week in crypto policy. I wanted to bring this up because this talks about how new guidance from the federal board gave crypto firms aiming to get a master account, a reason to celebrate, which guidelines are not hard rules. They standardize consideration for master accounts for firms with novel charters. So what this means is that there are crypto firms out there that are trying to do basically what banks do, to give out loans, to be able to give people I think lines of credit is one of them, as well as doing deposits and withdrawals for your cryptocurrency. The important part of this is that it's going to be novel charters. And the difference between that and normal charters, which is like the difference between banks and what these will be, is that they're going to be able to restrict what they can do. So normally banks, they can do the deposit withdrawal, they can do the darn, what was I saying that with that? The deposit withdrawal, they can give out loans as well as their all of their deposits, the stuff that's in your account is covered by the FDIC. They actually have that backed by them in case anything were to happen to it. With novel charters, that's explaining that they can take any one of those away. So it could be that they just have the deposit and withdrawals. It could be that they could just give loans. They're almost definitely not going to insure them by the FDIC. That's one thing that I could see them taking away definitely, because I don't see the government backing crypto enough just yet to where they're going to say, hey, you have your crypto in these crypto firms. They have these master accounts. So if anything were to happen, like they get hacked or something, then we'll definitely get your money back for you. I can't see that happening with these. So along with that, it also talks about how the Federal Reserve Governor is pumping the brakes on the creation of the U.S. Central Bank Digital Dollar, CBDC. I talked about this in a past video as well, how they were talking about wanting to do the Fed Now service over the CBDC. And one of the caveats that I've seen with that I believe I talked in the video as well, is that that's just going to be in the US. That whenever they start the Fed Now service, it's only going to be in the US. It's not going to be connecting to other systems. And that's one of the issues that ISO 20022 is trying to fix, as well as SWIFT. They're trying to make it to where all of the banking systems are trying to be on one standard so that all of them are using the same messaging program so that they can all connect together. It's all about interoperability, all about being on the same page with what's happening coming up in November, and I'm definitely going to be talking about that in a future video. So moving on from that, we have some major news with Ripple. I say that this is major news, not just because they met with the mayor of Japan's sixth largest city, but because it's in Japan. And I bring that up because I've been doing so much research on ISO 20022. I know I'm saying it a lot, but yeah, it's just pretty exciting learning about all this. I love learning it all. It's giving me a ton of confidence, and it's pretty fun teaching you guys about it as well. So I hope that you're enjoying it. So with this, I bring it up that it's in Japan because with that, which Crypto Mason was really awesome. He brought up on his video, I believe it wasn't today, but yesterday on Saturday, he brought up on this video, he showed an old article 3 years ago, Ripple and XRP mentioned in an official US bill proposal, which you can see down here. It brings up, where was it? The link to the actual proposal. Oh, I already clicked it, so it was kind of grayed out there. But the link's right here. It brings it over to here. You can use Control F. It's on federalregister.gov, so it is an actual official website, one that you can actually trust. I love whenever it's a federal website.gov, definitely. If you use Control F and then look up Ripple, as well as he said on his video, the continued growth and expanding partnerships of virtual currency companies such as Ripple, which offer both a payment messaging platform to support cross-border money transfers as well as proprietary virtual currency XRP, which can be used to affect settlements of both of those transfers. So like I was saying before, ISO 20022 is trying to help with the messaging of banks. That's what Ripple is for. XRP is to help with the settlement of those transfers. So it's going to help digitize things as far as anything that we need digitized and move through the blockchain to do so through their digital ledger technology, DLT. So with that, that leads to why I wanted to bring up Japan. So with Japan, they're one of the main people that ISO 20022 migration is definitely bringing up in their documentations. I read through this PDF, and it was pretty interesting to learn the things that they're actually doing for ISO for the standardization. And it talks about how Japan has their own messaging system, how they're going to be getting into ISO in November of 2022, so November of this year. And Ripple goes out and they're talking to the sixth largest city, the mayor of the sixth largest city. So they're getting into position to get into the ISO standardization. This is just further showing off what Crypto Mason has been talking about, in that they are one of the people that are definitely going to be in with this, that they're going to be one of the in crowd that's going to be able to get into this. And I can see XRP being one of the cryptos that's going to outlast a lot of these. So, like I said, this is pretty big news. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit more in depth on why I was so excited to see that they had went to Japan. Moving on from that, though, we have, oh yeah, okay, so moving on from this is the really cool news that I have for you guys, though. So this was really interesting, really innovating that I found this project. I thought that it was just going to be, something that just had pumped, that was going to be kind of cool, that I would find. I was halfway expecting it to be with the metaverse, honestly, until I saw that it was with Binance. I haven't seen too much metaverse stuff with Binance. Honestly, if you guys know too much, anything with the metaverse as far as Binance that's worth looking into, definitely leave it down in the comments for me. I'd really appreciate it. I love looking into this kind of stuff, especially if it's something that you guys want to learn a little bit more about and you'd like me to read all the documentation for it and get that for you. That's something that I love to do. I know my family's always gone to me as the guy to read everything for them and explain it for them, whether it's our insurance, 401ks, anything like that. It's always been kind of fun for me to learn that kind of stuff. So with this, this is talking about the DeFi altcoin that is STG, Stargate Finance on Binance rolled out support. Binance rolled out support for Stargate Finance, an Ethereum-based DeFi protocol that enables the transfer of virtual assets across different blockchains. So I'm sorry, this is Ethereum-based, but Binance rolled out support for it. And this is pretty cool because it's aiming to aims to make the process of swapping crypto assets across blockchains simpler. And that's not even the half of it, guys. So what this place is doing, which I went over to CoinGecko, just to show you guys exactly where I went to get this information, because I know that a lot of people don't know how exactly to research, so that's something that I want to help people with as well. So you can go over to CoinGecko, you search STG, it'll bring up Stargate Finance. You can see that the coin over the past year has actually went up. If I go over to the max, okay, so that is with the max. You can see that it did a little bit of pump. It's kind of went out, and then it did another pump back here in August. So it went down from 0.33 up to 0.85. So that's more than a 2x. I believe that's about 2.5x or so with that. And with this, I can completely understand why. The website that they show with this is the website. Welcome to the omni-chain future. Total value locked. Almost $600 million on here is locked. This is basically trying to fix what's wrong with bridges. So with bridges and with the white paper, you just go down here, go down to Gitbook. Protocol, under protocol, you go to Gitbook, and then you can find the white paper over on that link. And the white paper, I read through this. This was amazing to read through. I definitely recommend you guys go through this. I'm gonna leave the link to this website definitely down in the description if you guys want to read up a little bit on this yourselves. But it goes over the different issues that blockchains are having. And it also talks about, where was it? Let me see. So the different issues. Okay, I'm not going to read through it while I'm on here with you guys because that would make it a little bit too long. Oh, okay. Okay, so the key problems, there we go. I knew it was somewhere up here close. Number one, they rely on intermediate or wrapped tokens. So you guys know about that. If you guys go through a bridge, usually you're getting like wrapped Bitcoin or something. And then you're going to have to move it over to the Bitcoin blockchain in order to actually have the Bitcoin. They can only support a small, limited network of chains. And third, they cannot be composed with smart contracts on the destination chain. So all of the chains are having one or more of these issues. With their Omni chain, with the Stargate Omnichain, which is the Delta algorithm using Delta bridges. They are planning to fix this by first guaranteed instant guaranteed finality. What this means is that they're going to make sure that you're not having to go through that process of moving your token from, say, over from Bitcoin, moving it to a wrapped Bitcoin to get it to Ethereum, and then moving that wrapped Bitcoin into Ethereum in order to get what you want. So if you wanted to go from a Bitcoin to an Ethereum, you wouldn't have to go from that wrapped version of Bitcoin and then sell that wrapped version of Bitcoin in order to get the Ethereum. Whether you have to do it manually or that block or that bridge has to do it, one of you guys have to do it right now. This blockchain is changing that. If you go over to their website, you can actually go to transfer and you can go from, let me see here, go from USDC, or like my example here with ETH, go from ETH on the Ethereum blockchain and go over to, oh, okay. Okay, so I'm sorry, guys. It doesn't allow you to go over to Bitcoin. So my example was off the table, but it does have Ethereum, BNB Chain, Avalanche, Matic, Arbitrum, Optimism, and Phantom. So it does have quite a bit. It looks like you will still have to do that wrapped Bitcoin. So talking about that is pretty interesting. I wonder if they're going to be introducing that into here at all. I wonder if that's even a possibility. If it's not a possibility, if somebody knows that, leave that down into the description, because I'd definitely love to know that. I might do a little bit more research myself just to see if that's even a possibility for a bridge to be able to do that. Maybe that's something that they know, but they're kind of hiding, because, they did talk it up quite a bit in there about how it would be able to be any cryptocurrency out there switching back and forth, at least that they're going to be able to do in the future, so they might be able to change that later. But as you can see here, you can move one ETH from one Ethereum and then move it over to Avalanche and move it into USDC. So, okay, so I see how they do it now. So it's actually going to be from the original, so you can move it from like ETH, or if you wanted to do like Avalanche and move. Oh, okay. So I should have played with this a little bit more, because whenever I did it the first time, I thought that that's what I was getting out of this. So it's basically, it's moving the coin without wrapping it, but they've done it in a very interesting way, and I see why they've done it here. That's pretty smart. That way they're not having to worry about it being like an actual AVAX coin moving over to Ethereum, whenever they can just move the same type of coin, USDC, from the Avalanche blockchain to Ethereum. So that's actually pretty useful as well, I would think. But moving on from that, it talks about how it's also going to have unified liquidity instead of having what's called fractured liquidity. So it does a pretty good job explaining down here how most of the time they have it to where you have A, B, C, and D. They have all the liquidity just kind of separated. If one goes down, then that one's just gone, and then there's nothing that they can do about that. Some chains have it to where some can leak over into it to kind of save it. Other bridges have it to where they actually have a fund in the background that pay into those into those liquidities. That way they can keep it balanced. With them, they're just going to have it unified to where, as you can see right here, A, B, C, and D are just going to be in a big tank together, and they're just going to, their algorithm is built to make sure that, that they have all of it in there for you guys. Down here at the bottom, it does a wonderful thing explaining the Delta algorithm is able to guarantee sufficient liquidity for every transfer, and by extension, instant guaranteed finality. So through their algorithm, they're not only able to bridge those cryptocurrencies like USDC from the Ethereum blockchain over to, say, Avalanche or somewhere like that, but they're also able to make sure that if you're doing like Ethereum to USDC, or if you're doing Tether to USDC, they're able to make sure that none of those liquidity pools come out of balance, and that it's going to be harder for people to kind of mess with them like they did with other ones, like over with Tether whenever they, or not over with Tether, I'm sorry, over with Terra Luna whenever they messed with the liquidity pools and they were actually able to break the stablecoin that they have over there. Which, of course, they're not having a stable coin over here, which is going to help out with that. They do have their own coin I saw in there, that STG coin that they have as far as in here that you can stake for the governance in here. I don't believe that it's anything other than governance that you would want the STG coin for. Haven't looked too much into that part. So yeah, this was just a really cool project that I found. I wanted to definitely get you guys in the know about this, especially if you're somebody that does bridge a lot of your crypto and you're looking for something that makes it a little bit easier to get them cross-chain. This is definitely an option for you. But that's it for for today's video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around at the end if you did. You guys are definitely awesome if you did, and you're definitely into crypto. Make sure to get subscribed if you're not. I love you, and I'll see you next time.